We are live. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So excited to be here on day 4 of our 30-day wholesaling challenge. Super, super excited. So as usual, let you guys come roll on in. Give you a couple seconds. I'm so excited about tonight because today is the day that we all started making calls. You guys all started making calls, okay, through our 30-day challenge. So today was the first day of actually making calls. So I'm excited. I'm gonna let you guys roll on in and then we're gonna get started. Super excited for tonight's session. Hello, everyone that's rolling in. Welcome to day 4. Day 4. I'm just sharing this on our page. On my page, I should say. Come on, come on, come on. I see you guys all rolling in. You guys are excited about tonight. I know it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Hello, Dana. Hello, Zania. Oh, yes, Zania. Girl. So I'm gonna wait to share until we get some more people up in here, right? So everybody is rolling in. So we are on day 4 of our 30-day wholesaling challenge with me, Jasmine Gittens. Guys, this is for you guys to take action, right? It's not about watching a bunch of videos. Yes, I am here to give you information to help you with help you with getting started, right? So if you've been having analysis paralysis, you've watched all the videos and read the books and the ebooks and watched the webinars, right? And you're just like, damn, like it's time for me to actually take action. It's 2021, okay? 2020 was a crazy year, and you are now like, it's time. It's time for me to do something different to get some different results. That is what this challenge is for. It's for us to come in here together. We are going to get it done, right? They said Zania is not playing, okay? She is a bad woman. That is absolutely right. So now that you guys are rolling in, you're here, right? Today's day 4 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge. The first 3 days, we kind of set the foundation, right? We knew what our targets were, did the whole thing. Decided what our markets were, right? We got our lists, got them skip traced, uploaded those lists into our Mojo dialer or into whatever dialer you decided. The recommended one was Mojo dialer for this challenge. And it was time to start making calls. Like yesterday, we did all the final touches on making those, setting the foundation. It's time to make the call. So today, we woke up, right? We're all in the group chat, those that are in the 30-day challenge, and, you know, saying, all right, we ready, you know, let's get started. It's time to go. And today, just maybe about an hour ago, Zania responds and puts in the group chat that she got a lead that had 3 properties. She has a lead that she's working on that has 3 properties. So tonight, she's like, SOS, help me. Like, I got a lead. It's time to now make this offer. I don't know what to do, right? So sometimes we get that at that point, you're so wrapped up in the excitement of it, and even expecting people to say no. You're kind of expecting the rejection that when it comes time that somebody's like, yes, I am interested. What's your offer, right? And you freeze up, like, hold up. You say yes, right? So that's where she is in just her first day of making calls, guys. So already got some quality leads. And tonight we're gonna go over running comps, which is a perfect timing because now she can run these comps just like we all are going to do, and then make the offer. So initially, I was going to call this the Make the Offer Challenge, right? Because, you know, there's other challenges where people are, you know, wanting you to make the calls and do stuff like that. And it was like, all right, well, you made the call, but then, are you calling back to make that offer? Because that's what it really is about, right? You can make the call, you can talk to them, they can tell you yes, but if you don't make that offer, if you don't give them that offer, nothing matters. So in my business, we have a rule. Everybody gets an offer. Everybody gets an offer. Okay. Every single lead gets an offer, regardless of, regardless of what the lead said that they were looking for, right? They might have said, I want 100,000, I want 200,000. And we weren't planning on only offering maybe 60, right? 40, 50. We're still going to make that offer to them. So everybody makes an offer. We talked about it the other day of not putting your limited beliefs on what the seller may accept. We know what they might be looking for. You never know. So just make sure that we make the offers. Hello, Will. Hello. Good evening, Solomon. Good evening. All right. So we're going to get into it. I want to see some thumbs up of people that actually made their calls today. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you actually made your calls today. And tell me, how did it feel? Like, was it hard? Were you scared? Was it like, what, I could do this again? Like, type in the chat. Like, let me know what happened on your first day of actually making calls. I know, I think it was it Jonathan? Lawrence, who responded in the group chat saying, like, I'm so nervous. I'm nervous to start making calls. And I really want to, commend you for being so honest, because that's real. Like, you're not alone in this situation. A lot of people feel the same exact way. You could feel that way even on day 1 and day 100. You can still feel like, feel those nerves sometimes. Sometimes even I still have just a little bit of nerves at times, right, when I'm making certain phone calls. But it's great and important that we keep things in perspective, right? I think somebody posted it in our Facebook group earlier this week, like, what can I do to get over this fear? And it's like, you can either have the fear of being cursed out on the phone, which is like, whoop-de-woo, right? What is really going to happen from that? Or you can really be excited and motivated and driven to what your goal is, right? The potential of closing a $10,000 deal. Really, like, let's really think about which one outweighs the other. All right. So, nice. So Xenia said after review, she wants market pricing. She was already putting it on the MLS for over $10,000 on to the next. That's all I needed. I'm pumped. Let's get it. Yes. Now remember, like, every single lead is not going to turn into a deal, right? A lead is just that. It's a lead. So we want to have an expectation that you're going to have to get quite a few leads. We already went over the numbers on the first day, but you're going to have to get quite a few leads to convert it to a deal. But it's still exciting to get that lead, because that means you're one step closer to actually getting that deal, okay? Because it's all about numbers. This is a numbers game. So this is what the challenge is all about, to make sure that we're hitting a specific number so that you can get that deal. All right. So let's get into running comps. This is a very vital part of the business, because you want to make sure that you're making the right offer. If you don't have the right offer, honestly, it's like it's all for naught, because you're not going to be able to get it sold, right? Or you might have to go back and renegotiate, things like that. So we want to make sure that, again, I'm all about setting the foundation and making sure that you have the proper knowledge and tools up front, so that when you're going into making an offer, when you're going into this business, and every step of it, you feel good about, you feel confident, and you are sure about yourself and about your business. So we're going to get into running comps now. So I'm going to share my screen with you. So the system that I use to run comps is we actually use the MLS. So in every single market that we wholesale in, we have access to the MLS, right? However, a great system that you can use if you don't have access to the MLS is PropStream. PropStream is great for running comps. I mean, it really is great. You know, second to none after the MLS. I mean, the MLS is the source, right? So if you can get access to the MLS, which I actually teach my students how to do, then you can get that. But if you are just looking, you know, quick, easy, it's something, because getting the access to the MLS can take some time. So for the purpose of this challenge, we want to make everything quick, easy, smooth, and very accessible. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so that we can look at these. We're gonna go ahead and look at running this comps. Let me share my screen with you. I'm so excited. Cannot believe, yeah, you got that lead on the first day, even though she's putting on MLS. Girl, that's amazing. You're getting it done. Getting it done. That is what counts. All right. So let me press share here. Let me get into it. There we go. There we go. All right. We are in here now. So this is the comp calculator. I remember I told you guys that you guys were going to be getting bonuses on top of bonuses inside of this 30-day challenge. I mean, I'm providing so much value for you because I really want you guys to win. I really understand that, you know, I was in your shoes not too long ago, laid off of my job, pregnant, like just trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do to something different. I did not want to go back to work, right? So I understand, right? So I wanted to give you as much value as possible for this challenge that I know it's crazy, but here's another bonus, okay? So I'm gonna be giving you guys this offer calculator for people that are inside of the 30-day challenge. So you can utilize this for yourselves and yeah, make those offers. All right. So I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go deeper into it in a bit, but for now, we're gonna just head over to PropStream. Actually, before I do that, I think it would be a good idea for me to explain a couple little things in here. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. First of all. All right. So this calculator, you're gonna have when we're running our comps, and I'm going to show you how to do that, you're going to be finding the 3 lowest comps, okay? The 3 lowest comps in that specific area, right? And then you're also going to be looking for the 3 highest comps. The most important really is the 3 lowest comps, but we want to find both. And your offer is going to be based on the 3 lowest comps. So I kind of hinted to it yesterday, that the way that we make offers is we find what buyers are paying cash for in that market, and we on average for that type of property, and we just offer 10,000 or so less than that, right? So if we know on average, you know, buyers are paying $50,000 for properties in that area, investment properties specifically, then we are going to offer 40,000 as our maximum allowable offer. And so we know we can sell it at 50,000, right? So that is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do here. So the 3 highest comps, right? You might have heard. So these are your 3 lowest. These are your 3 highest, right? On your 3 highest, you might have heard on YouTube channels and things like that, like get the ARV minus the repair costs minus your assignment fee, and that's what you offer, right? And the problem with that is that doesn't work in every single market. Okay, so it's a general rule of thumb, but it doesn't work in every single market. You know, the important thing, like I wholesale here in Baltimore, right? Baltimore City. buyers here, investors here are not buying anything at 70%, right? They want it to be at 50% because the market is just not increasing as drastically as in some of the other markets I wholesale in, like in Newark, for instance. In Newark, the very opposite. Investors will actually pay closer to 80, 85%, right, of the ARV, and that's because the price in that market has been skyrocketing, right? So they know, they're so confident in that market that the prices are going up, that people are moving there, that they can move and flip these properties extremely fast. I mean, properties are not staying on the market there a day before it's getting over asking price. So, you know, that allows you as the expert real estate investor that is wholesaling to come in and make accurate offers, right? So if you know that you're in a market that it's much lower, then of course you want to offer make a lower offer, an offer that makes sense for that specific market. Likewise, if you come in at a market where it's higher, you want to, that will give you an advantage where you can actually offer more. But I'm gonna actually show this to you so that you can understand a little bit what I'm saying. And on this comp calculator here, I provide for you our comp formula. Okay, so when we're comping properties, you're looking for number one, right? We want 3 sold properties within a mile. At the closer, the better, right? So we say subdivision, a quarter mile, a half mile, 1 mile. But we want the 3 lowest and the 3 highest sold comps within a mile. Okay, so we're not looking at active properties that are on the market for sale, pending, you know, anything like that. We want them to be sold. We need to make sure that they're sold, because that's showing us what somebody actually paid. Okay, so you might see a property that was listed for $100,000. So you know, you don't want to use that, and then you just end up finding that the buyer paid $60,000 for it, right? So we want to know what was the end all be all result of that property being sold. Okay. So number 2, you want comparables must be like the subject property in type, in bedrooms and baths, right? So if it's a single family house, we're going to be looking at other single families. If it's a townhouse, we're going to be looking at other townhouses. If it's like a ranch, right? You're not going to compare. You want to look at ideally other ranches, right? You want to kind of keep the same type of properties. You want to kind of compare the same types of properties, okay? Now, when it comes to bedrooms and baths, you want to get as close as possible. Sometimes you know, another property might have like an extra bathroom, an extra half bathroom, something like that. And you know, that's okay. You just want to be as close as possible to the subject property. So if your property has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, you want to ideally be looking at other 3 bedroom, 2 baths as well. Okay. Number 3, comparable must have been closed within the last 90 days. So we want this information to be current, right? We don't want to be looking at properties that were sold 2 years ago because the market could have changed, right? Likely it had some type of shift. It had some type of shift. So we want to be looking at properties that were recently sold. In some cases, very rarely, you might have to go back just a little bit, especially during this time. There were some markets that had, like, you know, less activity than it usually we have, but things are starting to kind of get back to normal. So you should be able to just go back. You should only have to go back 90 days in order for you to find the comps. Okay. Number 4. Comparables must be within 10% square feet of the subject property. So if your property, your subject property is, let's just say for round numbers, you know, 100 square feet, right? Then you want to take off 10 and add 10, right? So you're going to be looking for 90 to 110, right? That's the range. So you want to make sure that the property that you're looking at are within 10% plus and plus or minus 10% of your subject property. Okay. And then number 5, comparables must not cross major streets or boundaries. Okay, so let's just say it's across a major lake, or it's across a big park or a highway, all right, or a major street. You want to avoid that because and I can tell you from experience, right? There can be a major street. Literally, if you're on this side of the street, property values is X, and if you literally cross that one street, property values change. So you want to try to stay within enclosed area, not crossing major boundaries. Okay, and so we're gonna get into it now. Let's take a look. So we're gonna go into PropStream. Okay, this is just how PropStream is. You log in. Logging in. I'm gonna just choose a property that I just did with one of my students. All right, so this is, let me just make sure I'm taking it step by step here. So you want to type the address in, right? Now, something to note in PropStream, when you're typing in an address, right, you want to wait for it to come until it drops down in the drop box and select the address from the drop box. PropStream is very sensitive. So like if you don't type it in exactly how they have it typed in, it will say like, oh, we can't find a property, but they have it. So you want to just type the property in, just continue typing it until you see it drop down in the drop box, and then select the property from the drop box. Okay. So you want to just immediately come over here and select the property. Okay, so this is giving you a whole bunch of information about the property, who owns the property, how much they potentially owe on the property, when they purchased the property, a whole bunch of information, right? But we want to stay laser focused, because you can come in here, you can start clicking buttons, and before you know it, you are an hour in and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't made an offer on this house yet, right? So don't do that, right? We don't want to waste time. We want to be efficient. So you click in here, you select the property, and immediately you go to comparables and nearby listings. So this is the property, right? So now we're in comparables and nearby listings. Okay, so we want to just take a quick note. This says that this is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and the square footage is 1,216. Okay, so we want to just note that we're going to have to use that when we are putting in our criteria. All right, so we're going to just scroll down a bit. Now it's asking, do you want to look at properties that were sold on a public records or properties that were sold on the MLS? So the MLS, obviously, those are properties that were listed by a realtor. Another realtor bought the buyer. They sold the property, right? So it was sold via the MLS. Now, there's some properties that aren't sold on the MLS, like the properties that you and I are wholesaling, right? These are not on the MLS, but you will find the sell on the public records. So we want to just say we want both. We want to see both properties that were sold in public records, so it wasn't on the MLS, as well as properties that were sold on the MLS. Okay, so you'll see some of these properties, you'll see green, and then you'll see blue. It's just correlating to whether it was sold public records or if it was sold using the MLS. Okay, so we want both. It's a little bit bigger for you. Okay, so now we're going to do date range, right? So we want to go back 90 days. So we're going to go to November 2020 to now. All right. So now your dates are in there. So remember, 90 days is our criteria set as far as date is concerned, right? Now the next thing what we're doing is square footage. So remember, we want to do 10% square feet, right? Plus or minus. So we're gonna do let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm just gonna do this with you. So you can see, I mean, a very simple way to do that is just to take away the 6. So, you know, 1,216 plus 121, and then 1,216 minus 121. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it using our calculator. So 1,216 minus 121, that's going to be your 10%. So just so we're clear, right, because I don't want to make any assumptions, 1,216 times 0.1, that's your 10%, 121, okay? So that's how I got that. But it's, again, an easy way just to take off the last number. Okay, so we're going to do 1,216 minus 121 equals 1095. Okay, so for our minimum square footage, we're going to put 1095. Right now, for our maximum square footage, we're going to do the same thing. 1,216 plus 121. 1,337. 1,337. Okay, so you want plus and minus 10%. So 1,216 square feet plus 10%, and then 1,216 minus 10%. All right, so that is where that comes from. Now we want to do as close as possible. So we're going to start at a half mile. And if we can't get enough data using that half mile, then we will go out to a mile. But we want to get as close as possible, you know. And status, we want sold. So we want to only be looking at sold properties, not properties that are listed or anything else, okay? So let's scroll down a bit. So this list, let me move this over just a bit. There we go. So this list here is showing the properties that fit into the criteria that we put in, right? Let me just scroll down a little bit more. Oops, let me do that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Make sure that you guys can see everything. Okay, so this red dot here, that's our subject property, the property that we're researching and that we're trying to find comps, right? I like to look at the map view. From my eyes, it just is simpler, and it helps me focus. Okay, so remember we talked a little bit earlier about major boundaries, right? So there's this huge lake or river in between these properties, right? So we really don't want to be looking at properties over here on this side, okay? We want to pretty much focus on properties to the left because we don't want to cross this major boundary. There's a park here, Jordan Meadows, and a big river, and another like parkway, American Parkway. Like those are all things that I'm talking about when I say major boundaries. This has a parkway, a park, and a river. Like for sure, you don't want to cross that, right? So an easy way to do this, PropStream has a little pencil here where you can actually draw your border. Okay, so you want to just click on that pencil and then start to draw your border. So you want to, I brought my pencil here, I clicked down. Now I'm going to just drag it. I'm going to click again. Now let it go. Then come down, click again, let it go, and then drag it over. Click again and let it go. And then I'm going to press search. Okay, so what that does, it removes all of those properties on this side so that I'm just staying laser focused on the properties that I'm actually trying to run comps on. All right. So now let's get to it if we haven't already, of course. course, right? So now you want to be pulling, again, you're looking for the lowest comps. But with that being said, we're looking for cash comps. Ideally, we're looking for cash comps. Cash comps. That means that whoever purchased the property purchased it using cash, okay? Not financing, but they use cash. And the reason we want this is because who is our most ideal client? Somebody tell me, somebody let me know in the chat. Who is our most ideal client? Please. Let me know. Let me know. I gotta know that we're on the same page here. Who is our most ideal client when it comes to buyers? Who is our most ideal clients? Somebody, you got it. Trust me, I know you can do it. I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds. Yes, investors. Yes, flippers. I'm looking for something more specific. Investors. Other investors. Okay. Cash. There we go. There we go. Cash buyers. That is our most ideal. There we go. Solomon. Cash buyers. Yes. So cash buyers are our most ideal client when it comes to the buyer side. Okay, it's super quick, right? They come in, they got the cash, they purchase the properties, they have the cash in their bank accounts, right? All they're looking for is that the property obviously meets their criteria. They put an offer on and they can close very quickly. Okay, that is our most ideal client. So we want to look for what are our most ideal clients paying for these properties. All right. So we are going to head over to this section now. All right. And now we can start. Oops. Now we can, why is it doing that? Oh, because it's only 13. Okay. So now we can start plugging our numbers into our offer calculator and be ready to make our offer. Okay. So one quick note, when it comes to cash, right? It has a little legend down here where it actually tells you if it was a cash transaction. Hopefully you guys can see them, make it a little bit bigger here. If it was a cash transaction, it's going to be circled. The number is going to be circled in green. Okay, so that makes it easy. This is technology, baby. This is technology, okay? If it was a foreclosure property, it will be in this teal color. If it was a bank-owned, like REO, it will be in this dark purple. If it was a new construction property, it will be in this kind of maroon. And then if it was an interfamily, meaning that it just went from maybe the great-grandfather owned it and now it transferred to the grandson, right? So it's staying within the family still. Usually those properties you might see it was sold for like $1, right? You might see something like that. So interfamily, it will be circled in this purple. Okay, but we're looking for that green. We're looking for that green, for the cash, the green cash. Okay. Now, just mind you, one thing to note on here that it's not 100% that it shows you that it's in cash, right? Sometimes it will be in cash and you have to like click into it. Like if you click, this one was $1,200. This most likely was a cash deal, right? But it's not giving you that green. So sometimes you can just, click on it, look at the details. And when it opens up, boom, this was cash. When it opens up, it will say cash sale here. It will say cash sale here. And if it was a cash sale, then you just, you can know that now you can use that, okay? So what we're looking for again is the lowest comps, right? So some of, oopsies, let's make this a little bit smaller now. Alrighty. So what we're looking to begin with is the lowest comps, okay? So you see you got 1,200, you got 1,300, and then you have 30,000, right? Okay. Whoops. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, right, based on this search, right, that the 1,200 and the 1,300 appear to be somewhat of anomalies, right, in this neighborhood, on this little neighborhood, right? So we see that these are still, these green ones, these are still cash transactions, right? Cash transactions. So we probably, not probably, we wouldn't use that 1,300 and that 1,200 to actually run our comps. However, we would hold on to those properties when we're talking to the sellers, all right? So this is a great example so that I can actually show you, if you run into something like this, how to handle it, okay? So because these two are anomalies, right, we're gonna look for what are the lowest three that are within somewhat of a range, not necessarily exactly the same, but somewhat of a range, right? So let's continue to look at what the lowest comps are after 30. So you got 30,000, 55,000, and 56,000. Okay. So let's change these two to the 55,000 and the 56,000. Boom. So this tells you what to offer. You don't gotta think. You don't gotta think. You don't gotta create a formula, figure out 70% of this and 80% of that and minus repair cost and how do I determine the repair cost and what's what, okay? This is what you're gonna offer. This is your maximum allowable offer, $37,000. So you're gonna start your offer 15% below that so that you allow yourself for wiggle room to negotiate, okay? So the reason that we don't concern ourselves with, in this scenario, we are period, right? When we're running our comps, we don't concern ourselves as much with repair costs and all of that, right? Is because these are cash transactions, right? That means that these were investment properties, right? So these houses needed work. They needed work. So we are looking and expecting that these properties that we're making offers on are going to need work. Now, mind you, every single one of them is not going to need work, right? Some of them are in better condition than other properties. But what we know is that we know investors are paying, on average, $47,000 for properties in this area. And because you want to make $10,000 here, right? Because you want to make a $10,000 profit, it's telling you to offer a maximum of 37. Now, if you wanted to make 15,000, it will tell you to offer 32. Okay, so this adjusts based on your desired profit, right? And as you get better, you start understanding your market and you start perfecting your negotiating, and you feel more confident, you can start increasing that number. Okay, but we want to just keep it average, keep it a little chill in the beginning, right? Just so we can start getting those deals, and then we can start doing and moving and making a lot of different moves. All right, so our maximum offer is going to be $37,000 for this particular property. Now, the reason, right, I'm still going to pull all this information in here. for the highest comps and repair costs and things like that. And the reason that we do that is we're just comparing our offer price. I want to compare my offer price to what the national average is, so that I can identify whether or not this specific neighborhood is above, below, or at what the national average is. So this is just for my expertise, for me to be able to compare, analyze, and understand the market. Okay, so let's go back and let's find the highest 3 properties. 130, 120, and 104. 130, 120, 104. All right, so when you put those highest properties in, right, it gives you your after repair value, your ARV automatically is calculated. I got you. I got your back. I know some of y'all are like, woo, child, thank you. So I got you, right? So this is saying based on the highest comps, right? So these are properties that have been fixed up. They're beautiful. They're in good condition, right? These are your renovated properties. Your after repair value is $118,000. Okay, so that's your ARV, and then now we're gonna put in the square footage. So just remember, on here you can scroll. Whoopsies, let's scroll up just a bit back in regards to the property. 1,216. Okay. Now, when it comes to the amount, this price right here is the cost per square foot for renovations in your market. The average cost per square foot in your market. Okay. Now, the best way to find out what this is to contact contractors in your area. So you can, again, get on those Facebook groups. You can ask for referrals to contractors, speak with at least 3 of them, and then, put together the average of the 3. And you're just asking them, what's the average repair cost per square footage in this market? And you want to know what that price is for a property that it needs a full gut, and then a property that just needs some touch-ups, just needs some cosmetic repairs, right? They might say, well, I need to know the scope of work. I can't tell you that I don't know exactly what the job is. And you can just, just tell them, I'm just looking for an average. I'm not looking for any specifics, right? We're just looking to see, we're interested in coming into that market. We're looking to partner with the contractor. We wanted to just know a ballpark of what that looks like per square foot for a full gut reno, and then one for cosmetics. So if you see down here, right, because we spoke with contractors, you see our estimated cost per square foot. Okay, so we know if it's in fair condition in Jersey, it's about 20. And this is specifically for our market, so this is in like Essex County. It's around $20 per square foot. And if it's rough, meaning like a full rental, it's about $45 per square foot. Okay, now that it's a little. This is when we first started, but it's a little bit higher now. But again, you just contact the contractor, and they can give you that number, and then you can just literally plug it in. Okay, so from the conversation that you have with the seller, if they're saying, my house is completely shot, needs everything, haven't done anything to it. The roof is falling down, right? Obviously, that's something that you're going to want to use the rough estimate, like a property that's in rough condition. And if they're like, it's the house is nice, it maybe just needs some updates, something like that, then you want to use your fair estimate. Okay, so we're going to just estimate that this is rough. Okay, so that's saying if it's in rough condition, it needs $36,000. Around $36,000 per square foot to renovate this property. Okay, and this, of course, this will drastically change depending on which market you're in. Okay, so now the repair cost will automatically come down here. And then your 10%, I mean, your $10,000 profit that you want. Now this, let me just put this, I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay. So this comparison is based on the 70% rule that most wholesalers you hear on YouTube and stuff like that will tell you, right? So it says take the ARV minus the repair cost minus your profit and what is the offer, okay? So look at this. These two are basically the same. So that means in this particular market, in this, and I don't even want to say the market, in this neighborhood, right? Because sometimes one neighborhood can be different from another neighborhood. One neighborhood can be hotter, like more buyers are looking to buy in that neighborhood, just like we talk about zip codes, right? Than in other zip codes or other neighborhoods. So in this specific neighborhood, this pans out to be just right. It's right on market, on par with the national average of saying take the ARV minus the repair costs, or excuse me, take the ARV times the 70% minus your repair costs minus your, your profit. And what do you offer? Still saying a maximum of 36, okay? So that just gives you the ability to analyze your market to say, okay, this market is right on point. But you don't even need to do all that. You ain't need to do all that, right? You literally can just plug in what cash buyers are paying for in the market, and it tells you right there. Simple, simple, simple. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. Keep it efficient. Okay. This is the most efficient number, and it's the easiest to get. Okay. Now I want to just show you something really quickly, because I want you to be able to see what I mean when I say that things might be different, right? Like, let's just say, for instance, the numbers look something like this, right? Let's just say the numbers look something like this. Like this could be Baltimore City, right? Whereas this number, the price that investors are paying for cash does not match that average, formula, that the average national formula, right? So again, this will just give you market expertise to know in this neighborhood or in the zip code, you're gonna have to get the prices for way, way lower based on what cash buyers, on what investors are looking to pay in that specific area right currently, right? Because we're looking over the last 90 days. So we want to know that we can sell this property. Okay. Now, on the other hand, let's make those numbers a little bit higher. I want to just show you what I was. Oops, a little bit too high there. On the other hand, right, what if this number was higher than this number? Okay. Now that lets you know, that lets you know, again, it creates you as an expertise in that market. And you're like, okay, I know that I can offer more in this market. Okay. The buyers are paying more in this market than the national average. All right. And that gives you the advantage, because now, other wholesalers are coming in, they're looking on YouTube, they're offering, this is what they're offering, right? And right, if this was the scenario, you would know that you can offer all the way up to 58,000. So that would give you an edge. That would give you a competitive edge. Okay. So that is how you do that. But let's just go back to what it actually is right here. Boom. Oops. Boom. All right, so that's running comps, y'all. That is running comps. So that's how you do it. That is how you run your comps. That's how you make your offers, and you're confident in your offers and knowing that When you get that property under contract, because it's going to be at the right price, you're going to be able to sell it. So it's no worries as to, oh man, well, what if I get it under contract and I can't find a buyer for it? You don't need to have that kind of worry, because you are getting the property under contract at the price at which for certain investors are paying cash for that property. All right, so let me just head over to these questions to make sure we get you answered. All right. So Will, if when I am calling leads, I found that one of them is interested in receiving an, oops, you can't see me. What is the one of them is interested to receive an offer. What is the best way to proceed? Should I stop calling the rest of the leads and get as soon as possible for this lead that I found interested in offering? Great question. So he's asking, look, I'm making my calls and somebody's like, yes, I want an offer. Should I stop everything and make them an offer and then get back to making my calls later? The answer to this is it truly depends. And I hate that, giving an answer. I like to give a solid answer, but it does depend on you. It depends on you. If you know 100,000% that if you stop and you make that offer that you're going to actually continue making your calls, then go ahead and do it. But if you know, right, that there's a slight chance that by you stopping and making an offer, right, that it might get you out of the mindset of making calls, it might get you distracted, and you might end up stopping making your calls. Then finish your calls up and make the offer afterwards. Okay. In the beginning, for me, I would have completed my calls. I would have I was super, super laser focused. I was like, you know what? 10 to 1, that's my time to call. And I gave myself an extra hour to do any kind of like administrative stuff afterwards. So I would have continued making my calls because I know in the beginning it was hard for me to build consistency. And if I got distracted with making comps, I would sit there and spend an hour when I really didn't need to, but I didn't know this information that you guys have now. I did not have that. I was figuring out formulas. I didn't have no offer calculators. It was a lot. Okay. So I just finished making my calls first, and then I went back and I made the offer right after I was done my session. But you want to get to the point where you are making those offers as soon as possible. And the sooner the better that you can make that, the sooner you can make that offer, the better. Because, the seller ends up going out, they end up doing stuff, you never can reach them again. So it is better to do it as sooner the better, but it is, is really depending on what type of person you are. And it's okay. It's okay in the beginning to say, you know what, I know that I need to just finish making these calls. It's okay. Like, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Be happy that you're truthful with yourself, you're real with yourself, and you're taking the necessary actions and steps to get it done. So that's my answer to you. That just relieved a lot of stress. Great. I am so glad to hear that. Let's see, next question. Do we get to use a calculator during the challenge and after? You get to use it during the challenge. You do get to use it during the challenge. If you want to continue, if you want continued access to it, then I will be providing you with opportunities for continued use. Okay. Just to make sure I got it, don't worry about the ARV percentage. Right. You got it. So just plug in the numbers. What are the cash deals in that area, and then make the offer. I mean, it gives you the answer literally right there. So you don't have to think about anything. It literally tells you what to offer. It's showing you what your maximum offer is right there. So it's saying your maximum offer is $37,000. So there's nothing else to think about but to make your offer starting about 15% below to give yourself wiggle room for negotiations. Okay. Let's see. My head up here. One of the things I've had trouble with is doing comps to figure out how to make the right offer. Thank you for simplifying this process. Makes it so much easier to know what offers to make. I know it really, really does. I'm so happy that I'm able to help you guys during this challenge. I mean, this is making me so happy. You don't understand. Like, I'm so excited to be here helping you guys because, you know, this is what I would have wanted when I was getting started. It would have really, really helped me. So I'm glad to be here helping you guys. And if I've made connection with the realtor in my market, can you explain some ways that we can use the realtor to our benefit? I mean, yeah, I actually went over that in the last video. So if you want to check out the last video and some of the ways that you guys can create relationships with your agents and, you know, what that looks like. I actually have some other videos on this this Facebook group as well to share how you can benefit from that as well. So just check those out or look at the previous videos. I want to keep this one focused. So any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? And I can share with you just to briefly answer that question, because I do want to make sure that that I'm helping you in any way I can. One of the ways is that you can actually list. You know, if a person wants retail value, and Zania, actually, let me. I want to reference this to you, right? So if you already know that woman, she wants retail value, right? That's where your relationship with a realtor will come into play. And you say, great, I have an agent on my team. We can list this property for you. Okay. So that you're still not only monetizing this lead that you paid for and you spent time talking to and building rapport with, but also you're able to actually provide a solution for each lead that you get. So that is how one of the many ways that you can use a realtor in your business. Okay, so let me know. You guys have any other questions? I mean, I'm loving it. Seems like this was 1, 2, 3. You got it. You grasped this information. So now you can go out there, make your calls. Now you can make your offers. Feel super confident in making the best offer, an accurate offer, and knowing that when you made that offer, you're going to be able to sell it. Super great. Super great. Okay. Are we offering to pay closing costs for the seller? I thought you said that earlier. So we're going to actually go over the contract tomorrow. All right. So come back here, same place, same time, and we will go over the contract, and you'll be all set in reference to how to handle getting the property in the contract and what to offer the seller and all that good stuff. Okay. So that's it, you guys. We got one more day of doing these lives for this week, and then from there we're gonna be doing it weekly. It's gonna be once a week. So I'm gonna be cutting the chains off soon and allowing you guys to really put into play everything that we talked about. Everybody who's in the group chat, we're gonna be in there talking. If you have questions, you hop in there. We're going to be communicating. I'm going to be cheering you on and supporting you guys the full way. So let me just make sure there's no more questions. Yes. Will we be receiving this calculator? Yes, you will. You will be. This is a bonus. This is something that you didn't even know you were going to get, but you're getting it. You got it. You're getting it and you got it. Okay. So you are so welcome. You are so welcome, Zania. I'm so excited that you got that lead and you feel confident. You feel good now. So just keep pushing, keep going, guys. Keep going. Thank you for the information. You are so welcome. You are so, so welcome. Some areas do not have many real estate transactions in the last 90 days. Do you depend on one or two comps if you come across that scenario? So ideally, you want to use three so that you can, you want to use three so that you can feel very, very confident in your offer, right? But if you need to, again, you can go out a mile. That will be one thing to see if there's anything within that mile. And then the second thing would be if you wanted to take it, maybe a month or two further, just because, again, during the pandemic, some things, slowed down a bit. So you can go back just a little bit. But other than that, if you only can get like two, yes, you can still make an offer based on that. But you want to try to get three so that it's really, really strong. Okay. Do we have set days after this week? Yes, we do. So you'll get that in the email. Okay. Boom, set days. Awesome. Awesome, 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 guys. Well, you all have a phenomenal night as always. I'm so, so thrilled to be here for you on day 4 of our 30-day challenge. We are just getting started, just getting cooking. So just keep it up, guys. Stay motivated. And I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you. And I'm so, so excited for you all to get that first deal. So you all have a great night, and I will talk to you and see you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. right here. Bye-bye.